guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here today to do a quick video on talking about the FTC and this COPPA issue that is obviously kind of going around on YouTube. So I'm just really sharing my fears, my plans. They are not concrete plans, but things that I'm wondering about doing, and just so that everyone's kind of in the loop really with regards to going forward on my channel in the interim, I guess, or I'm hoping. What is going to be the interim, we don't know obviously yet how this is all going to pan out. Right, so I'll just give a very quick overview. I'm sure most of you have heard of the COPPA thing that's going about, because obviously there's tons and tons of videos on it at the moment, but I would just kind of give my understanding of it really. Basically, COPPA is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. I think YouTube were obviously, you know, accused of kind of violating the privacy protection in that I think, you know, children under the age of 13, which was the legal age in America, you know, designated as under 13s are a child. They were obviously watching YouTube, and then data was being collected and things like that, so that targeted kind of ads and, you know, what have you could be, you know, shown to those children. I obviously, you know, I'm not going to get into all of the rights and wrongs of all of that kind of stuff. But needless to say, what has happened now, all I'm going to do is, whilst I'm chatting, I'm just going to start taking some of my daughter's old skirts apart, ready for using in my journals, so that I'm not just sat here doing nothing. So yeah, basically that's my understanding of kind of what has happened, and YouTube were fined something like $170 million, which I think was made up of obviously all of the videos that they were deemed to have you know, breached the agreement. They were, well, I have now heard actually other things that they weren't fined, but they settled out of court anyway. Anyway, it resulted in this huge payment, let's just call it, of $170 million. So basically the new thing, and how it now affects us basically, is that due to this, the FTC are putting this law in place basically, that now I don't know really whether this comes from YouTube or whether this comes from the FTC. I think kind of YouTube have like passed this on really to the creators. And basically what they have done is you have to now designate whether your video is aimed at kids or, you know, made for kids or made for adults. Well, obviously all of my videos are made for adults. They are not made for kids. You know, kids would not be interested in watching, for instance, this with me just cutting up a child's skirt. You know, they wouldn't be interested in the vintage journals that we make or anything like that. You know, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be interested in things that we talk about and chat about, you know. And I'm sure that our style, you know, I'm making a sweeping statement there, but our style in our kind of junk journal community is not that which would be of interest for children. However, that doesn't quite end there, because basically what is happening is you have to mark your video as, is it made for children or not? If you say it is made for children, or let's go first of all, if you say it's not made for children, which is obviously where my leaning was going in the first instance, no, they're not made for children. What is going to happen, and this is going to be from the 1st of January 2020, is basically there will be kind of random, let's call them spot checks, where an algorithm is used to pick up videos which are deemed, you know, as directed at children. Now, as part of this COPPA law, there are all these different, I think there's 10 different things that end up being the definition of a video that is designed for children. And one of those things is basically being something that is attractive to children. So attractive to children could be bright colours, it could be Father Christmas, for instance, it could be the lovely children's books that we use in our journals. Any of those things, and I'm sure lots of other things that, you know, I haven't thought of, could all potentially be deemed as being attractive to children. Again, you know, I come back to this that, you know, I mean, to be honest, having got 3 children, you know, children find all sorts of things attractive, you know, for a split second. However, the ability to keep them engaged and keep them interested in something is far more tricky. So although at the first glance, a video, for instance, using a children's book might seem like it's of interest to children, I'm pretty sure that once they clicked on that video, they'd be pretty bored within kind of 5 minutes of watching it, because the actual content of the video and the format of the video and how the video is made would not be, obviously, you know, attractive for children. However, that doesn't really kind of, you know, stop us as creators being on edge, let's just say, because basically, you know, I mean, for instance, and I know that Gail, she uses lots of kind of children's books and things like that for her journals. I love using those children's books. I love using them. They just make the prettiest journals, and they're one of my favourite ways to make journals is using the children's books. I mean, obviously, this is coinciding with my mass making, you know, making a cohesive journal from our mass makes. This video now that I'm doing today is coinciding with my releasing of that series. Now, obviously, I filmed that series a few weeks back before I heard of any of this COPPA stuff. Had I heard of this, you know, at that point, maybe I would have chosen a different theme rather than the children's books. However, I didn't, and obviously, you know, that's what the journal is, you know, being themed around. Therefore, do those videos which I have currently marked as, no, they are not made for children, because to me, they are definitely not made for children. You know, they are not in any way, shape or form a child's crafting activity. But the problem comes if then the, you know, the powers that be kind of do a random spot check and they come across those videos and see that I'm using children's images in that journal. I could then be deemed that I have mismarked my videos, and, you know, it could potentially be that whole series, which, you know, maybe is like eight episodes or something like that. And I could then receive a fine. Now, again, obviously watching videos on YouTube, some people seem to say that the maximum fine is $42,000. Some people say the minimum fine is $42,000. I mean, to me, the figure is irrelevant, to be perfectly honest. Whether it was 4,200 or 42,000, I haven't got that money. You know, I haven't even got that smaller amount of money to be able to pay that sort of fine, you know, for 8 episodes that would have been fined at that sort of rate. So obviously I'm now left in a quandary as to what to do. So for the moment, obviously that series is going to be running and, you know, left to finish. I will leave it on there for a while, and then I am deciding what to do going forward. Unfortunately, I have also filmed another series using up stash with, you know, lots of fun ideas, you know, of using up things that we kind of wish that we'd never bought, really. Again, I'm loath to upload that now, because would that be deemed as suitable for children, or, you know, aimed at children? You know, in my mind it wouldn't be, but who's to say that it wouldn't be? And, you know, do I really want to take that financial risk, you know, to literally, for the sake of trying to make a bit of extra money for my family, was, you know, my initial share my love of crafting, hopefully make some extra money for, you know, for the family. would end up ruining our family, you know. And I'm sure that all of us crafters feel pretty similar. You know, I'm sure that none of us have got anywhere near that sort of cash or anything else. So yeah, it is very, very sad day really at the moment, and I'm just hoping that something is going to change between now and the 1st of January. However, I wanted to kind of inform you all of what I'm going to be doing if nothing changes. So I will probably hold fire on my next series with the you know, using up old supplies, because, you know, I don't want to kind of be halfway through the series and then that ruling come in and I have to then stop dead. So, you know, it may be that won't go up until, you know, next year, in which case everything I've chatted about during those videos will seem completely random and out of date. So there's that. I'm also in the process at the moment of filming my series going along with my next beginner's kit that I'm doing. I've got a few more episodes to film left of that. So again, I'm not quite sure what my plan, you know, with regard to that is. Obviously that's not using children's images, but the fact it's crafting, would that come under that category? I'm not sure. You know, I mean, obviously you don't want to kind of just lose your entire body of work, you know, but then you don't want to kind of risk being fined. So I'm not quite sure of the way forward. So I'm thinking at the moment, there are many of my videos that I will probably have to mark private. I have really watched a lot of sad videos where people have literally deleted their videos off of their channel. Which is just so sad and horrible, because obviously videos take an awful long time to do, and that must be just truly gutting. So I'm hoping that I can mark them as either unlisted or private. I'm going to just do a bit more research on that, because I don't know whether, if you listed as unlisted, whether they would still be available to people who have already watched those videos. You know, because I'm aware that obviously people enjoy watching videos and things like that. I don't want suddenly my channel to be down to like no videos on there. Or I could obviously just change them all to made for kids. I don't really want to do that because A, they're not made for kids, so that would be completely marking them wrongly. But what's even worse than that, you lose all communication settings. So those videos are no longer then able to receive comments. You can't save them in like a watch later playlist. I don't know whether you could save them to other playlists. I really don't know, but certainly all sort of functionality would be gone from those videos. So, you know, anything that people wanted to ask a question, or where did you get that stamp, or anything like that, you would have no way of interacting with your audience, which is just horrible and so sad to imagine, because obviously, you know, part of the fun is obviously the interaction with all of you guys who, you know, I really miss it when I'm not able to kind of get onto my channel or, you know, read the comments and things like that. So what would be the point really if you can't then interact with your audience? And then, you know, as another side note, you also would not be monetized. I think you would be monetized slightly. I don't really know what this means, but it wouldn't be monetized fully. I don't really know what that means. But I mean, of course, you know, as creators, you know, you want to try and get some sort of financial you know, reward for all the time that it takes to do your videos as well, you know, and I would be lying to say that that didn't matter at all. So there is that side as well. So what can we do? Well, I watched a lovely video this weekend. It was from Bentleyhouseminis. She I think does like doll's house miniatures and things like that. I'd never heard of her before, but obviously because she was talking about the COPPA, she just came up on the recommended videos. So she had a brilliant video. If you are a creator and wanted to kind of get some ideas and things like that of what you can do. She had a brilliant video talking about things like privatising her videos. I watched a video last week from, and I can never remember this lady's name, but I have subscribed to her channel, Polooza, I think, or something like that. I apologise so much. I'm pretty sure she doesn't watch my channel, but I do apologise if anyone else watches her channel and I've mispronounced her name completely. She has moved all of her videos that contain things like children's books and things. She has literally created a second channel and put all of those videos on there. So that would be another possibility. I don't really know how easy that is to do, but certainly, you know, it's probably something worth looking at. I watched another video from somebody called Larkin's Lair. Now, I don't know, obviously, you know, again, he's not somebody I would watch ordinarily, but came up on my recommended because, again, he was talking about COPPA. Now, he seemed to think that, you know, you would be able to look at your analytics and things like that and see what your main audience demographic is. So I did do that and I had a look. Now, I had literally 0% in the 13 to 17-year-old age range. No percentage there at all. No 13 to 17-year-olds are watching my videos. Oh, which even means my children aren't, you know, they can't even watch them. That's how dull they would be to a 13 to 17-year-old. 18 to 24, I had 0.3%. So again, minuscule amount of people in that age range who would be watching. My biggest percentage, I think, where it started to climb was 45 to 54. So 45 years to 54 years are the age range that it started to climb at. So, you know, you could argue that looking at those analytics, clearly my videos are not made for kids. They're not being watched by kids. But again, would I want to risk it? Not really too sure about that. So yeah, I mean, that obviously kind of is it really. I don't know quite how to, you know, proceed with this. Obviously there's even like my mass making workshops on Tuesdays. There's the 3 and 30 challenge on the Saturdays. You know, even those, could they be deemed as suitable for kids? I don't really know. Very, very worrying. And I really hope that this gets altered in some way or clarification on the wording or something, you know, because it will be a really sad day if this goes ahead and creators are too fearful to put videos up. So what can we do? Oh, and just one more thing, sorry. I know that probably if you're watching this and you're not a creator and you're just a viewer, you maybe think this doesn't really concern you and it's not really something to worry about. However, you know, as lots of people in their videos have kind of said, you know, the thing is this will also impact you, because if creators are too fearful to put videos up, you know, I mean, my videos would maybe just go to flip throughs of things that I have created. I mean, I'm used to uploading a video pretty much almost every single day. And I love doing the craft alongs. I love doing tutorials. But, you know, if I'm going to end up getting fined or, you know, financial ruin as a result, I would then have to go to just flip throughs of just my completed journals. And I've heard other creators kind of say the same things. So, you know, you would also be impacted from a point of view of that content might not be there. So what can we do? I'm going to link below a petition. I have signed the petition, obviously. The petition is kind of asking them to, you know, to relook at this. So I have signed that. I'm also going to link the FTC where you can write a comment to them. I will read to you what I've written. So I wrote this comment. It's a bit long-winded, so I apologise in advance. I've just kind of put, Dear FTC, I'm compelled to write and ask you to change the wording of the COPPA rules relating to child attractive content. I am an adult crafter with a crafting channel aimed and viewed by adults. We have a wonderful community here, and for some of these ladies, our community is their main link to the outside world. Many wonderful crafters here on YouTube are giving their precious time to bring joy and happiness to viewers' lives, and it is so very important that they are able to continue without fear of being fined and literally financially ruined for creating content that could be deemed as attractive to kids. Due Due to the vague wording, I am fearful that many creators, including myself, will no longer feel able to create and share videos, which will be a very sad day. Obviously, we could just upload and mark videos as made for kids, even though this would be a completely inaccurate definition. In addition, we would lose the ability to communicate within our community of fellow crafters, and also lose functionality such as adding to playlists, etc., and monetization. Finally, it is such a sad case of the incredible equal opportunities that have been opened up to all via the freedom and diversity of the YouTube platform, the likes of which have never occurred before. YouTube offered an opportunity for people without connections or money to further themselves in their careers, and have been able to create and shape their own career using their talents and knowledge in a way that has never been seen before. It really has been an amazing and empowering platform, and its popularity and success is testament to the need for such a thing. It is very sad that many of these wonderful opportunities and so very enjoyable pastimes are going to be in danger by fear of uploading videos that could potentially be randomly designated as made for kids, resulting in financial ruin for the creator and their family. So that was my comment that I put on the FTC website, or the link of which I will give below. I don't know quite where that goes to, whether it sits on their website or whether it just goes to sort of a department within there. So I will link the petition, and I will link the FTC for you to write a comment below, so kind of check that out. I will also link Bentleyhouseminis, because she did have lots of kind of talked a bit about kind of privatising videos and things like that. Because yes, I have watched a couple of really sad videos where people have literally just wiped out their videos. They've just deleted their videos, which, you take a long time filming these videos, uploading them, editing them, and that's just awful to see people actually deleting their videos. So yeah, hopefully between us we can maybe come up with a sort of concrete plan of a way forward here, and maybe with enough support and enough kind of people sign the petition and comment on the FTC, maybe we could actually change the wording or something like that, or convince them to change the wording or something. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that this is going to be just a blip and it will sort of calm down, and that actually going forward, this is not going to be as worrisome as we had, anticipated. And obviously I will keep you informed going forward of what I intend to do exactly with my videos and with my channel, really. So yeah, sorry for such a moany, drony video really, but it is, unfortunately something that we have got to kind of consider as both creators and obviously as an audience on YouTube. So thanks very much for watching, and as I say, the links will be below. Thanks then, bye.